Alright, what's good everybody? It's your boy ShawnFromNVY back with another video. I saw this clip on Twitter. I thought this was an interesting clip to play and kind of give my thoughts and opinions on this. If I'm being honest, I kind of have mixed feelings about this whole topic regarding the WNBA and things that transpired this previous season. But before we get into this video, I want to thank everyone who subscribed to this channel. At this very moment, we are sitting at 1,821 subscribers. I just want to take this time to really let you guys know how much I appreciate you guys for subscribing to this channel. You don't have to, but you do it. Now, there are a lot of people who view these videos who have not subscribed to this channel. If this is you, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel, help a small content creator out. I'm all for people commenting down below, getting their point across, all that good jazz. Now, within the last week, I would say, I've kind of slowed up doing videos on a sense of not knowing if I want to keep on doing these videos, because now in my videos, I always tell people to keep it respectful. But here, for some reason recently, a lot of people have really been showing their true colors and offending other people who are in the comments. And that's one thing I can't have. Now, I do monitor my comments. I do remove comments. And depending on how bad the comment is, I do block people. Now, my channel, I'm not okay with people just coming here, spewing their racist views or their hateful rhetoric. I don't like any of that kind of stuff. I don't like any of that kind of stuff. So I do remove people. So if that's something that you don't like, my channel may not be for you. I'm not too big on numbers, but at the end of the day, I'm good without YouTube. I do this because I like the process of this. I like to create things. I do this as a hobby. I do this as a person who enjoy YouTube itself when I watch other content creators, but just don't think of me as one of those people who will let things slide because he needs the views, he needs the subscribers. I'm not that guy. If it comes down to anyone getting disrespectful on my channel, whether it be towards me, whether it be towards anybody else in the comments, I will remove you. Now, I know that's different from any content creator you guys probably ever heard of. You probably never seen anybody come on a video and say anything like this. But this is my channel, this is how I run my channel. I like respectful conversation. We can disagree, we can have different views, different perspectives, all we want. Just keep it respectful. That's all I ask, that's all I ask. Keep it respectful. Now, I came across this video and one of the ladies asked Andraya Carter about, the challenges of covering Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark this year. Andraya Carter saying it was difficult because if there was criticism, then you're being a racist or being a hater, and that there were a lot of trolls. Now, this is something that I've been saying for a while. Now, I like Andraya Carter. I'm not really a Malika Andrews person. I'm not really a Monica McNutt person, but Andraya Carter is okay with me. She gives me a good balance between both sides, so I'm gonna hear her out.
Andraya, I know you were talking about the challenges of this season when it came to covering the Caitlin Clark, the Angel Reeses, because of a lot of the pushback. I mean, I know I've been called every name in the book in social media this season. Like, no matter what my take was or who I was talking about, there was always something wrong that I was doing. And it seemed like it was happening just at a higher, or more often than we were used to. But you said you were talking about that yesterday. I want you to share the sentiment from your seat.
Yeah, my therapist got a lot of work this summer. Her name's Laura. I love her so much because there were some very strong feelings and opinions about Caitlin, about Angel, and I think trying to get out of the space where giving critique or giving criticism is then connected to being racist, or giving critique or giving criticism is then connected to, oh, why do you hate her? Or why do you not like her? And it's like, it's never personal, and it shouldn't be personal, but there were a lot of fans, social media voices, social media trolls that made basketball very personal. And that was hard because it's never personal for us. We love the game, we love the players. And so it was tricky this season because it was, how do I talk about these players? And then also going on shows where they only wanted to talk about Caitlin and Angel because that's what people love to hear about. So then finding space to, okay, how do I throw in one more name into this conversation?
Oh, by the way, Asia's having the best year. Yeah, like asking about Asia.
Right. Yeah. So it was hard because on one hand, I'm so thankful for the opportunities to go on these new platforms and talk about the WNBA. Because if we're talking about Caitlin, we're still talking about the W. So I'm like, this is a great opportunity. Then on the other hand, I'm like, but wait, there's some other things we should be talking about also. So it was just walking a fine line almost all season between feeding and appeasing the new fans that only want to hear about a couple of players, and also staying authentic and true to myself and giving credit to the other players in the league. And then also being authentic in basketball analysis and not letting people convince me that it's personal when I know it's not. So it was almost like this whole season was just walking a very fine line, but trying to do so passionately. And it was hard, but it was a lot of fun also.
Now, me, honestly, I can say I agree with the majority of what Andraya Carter said. And just before I go into Andraya Carter's part, the lady who's in the blue, I didn't catch her name, I should have got her name, but what she said also happens to me. if you critique Caitlin Clark a certain particular way, you do get called every name in the book. It's a lot of comments that my page don't see because as soon as they get posted, I get a notification and I block them. Because the names that I've been called when I gave simple criticism to Caitlin Clark. Now, if you watch my page, you know I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, right? I love her game. I've been giving her all the props. When things were going wrong with her, as far as with other players in the league, I defended her on this channel. I'm not one of those people who feel like Caitlin Clark can never do no wrong. I'm not one of those fans. I'm a fan who actually watches her play. I support her. But just like any other player, I critique her. On this channel, it's been times where I've critiqued Caitlin Clark, and people have chewed me out in the comments. Not only me, whoever she played against, they chewed them out too. It's like I said, she could do no wrong in a lot of people's eyes. And I get that kind of comes with it, so I get it. Now, like I said, I defended Caitlin Clark on my channel a lot of times when things were done wrong to her, right? So I understand her point of view to the lady in the blue. Now, to Andraya Carter's part of it, I agree to a certain extent with that. Just going off my own personal channel. My channel didn't pop off until I started talking about Caitlin Clark. It just didn't. And I've been working on this channel for years. Now, my channel didn't never pick up until I started doing WNBA content. More specifically, Caitlin Clark content. Just to be fair, when I started covering Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, my subscribers started to go up rapidly, fast. My view time went up fast. You guys don't know how long I've been working on this channel trying to get the channel monetized. Just being real about it. I worked for so long to try to get my channel monetized, and here comes Caitlin Clark boosting me up. So I can never say anything bad about her personally because she's helped my channel, rightfully so. I gotta be honest with you guys. But that does not mean that I will never criticize her if she needs it. And here on this channel, it's been a few times where I've done that. And Andraya is right. I guess, as they call it, the Caitlin cult. Those people are the ones that get deep in the comments and it's like pitchforks and they ready to stone you. It's like, dog, it's not that serious. She hit it right on the head when she said, yo, this is not personal, yo. It's just a game. So I get it. And I get some of the fans outraged far as how she was treated. Okay, cool. Y'all let Caitlin deal with that. I've come to that conclusion that we can sit here and argue and fuss for a person to be treated fairly, but if that person's not doing all that, or if that person is okay with how they're being treated, what can we really do about it? We gotta roll with it. If Caitlin's rolling with it and she's not complaining, we gotta roll with it, no matter how bad it looks. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen all that. Now, I even would agree to the point when she says that trying to find a balance on covering Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and other important things that needs to be talked about with the WNBA. I get that. Because even here on my channel, I'm giving y'all my own personal opinion. Even here on my channel, when I try to promote other things in the W, now I can attest to that because when I try to do other content on my channel that's not Caitlin Clark related, or it may be Caitlin Clark related, but it may have someone else featured in it, it doesn't get the amount of attention or the amount of views that it would be if it's solely Caitlin Clark, or if it's something me bashing another player in honor of Caitlin Clark. Like, I don't think people really understand that. I did a video recently on Angel Reese and her dressing and sexualizing herself, and me giving her criticism according to how she's presenting herself outside of basketball. That video has done numbers. But when I do a video about Juju Watson getting a Nike deal, the biggest Nike deal for a female basketball player, all came to Caitlin Clark heat. Just the other day, I posted that Caitlin Clark was on the cover of Times with some more inspirational people. And instead of just saying, hey, congratulations to Caitlin Clark, people were in the comment. This is a community post. This is not even a video. They was in the comments just saying so much stuff about Angel Reese, saying so much stuff about Asia Wilson. It's like, I'm like, yo, this is not a post about Asia Wilson or Angel Reese. Just come here and say congratulations. Show love to Caitlin for getting on the cover of Times. Get me when I say this. I say some. It's like some of those Caitlin Clark fans take every chance they can get to downplay anybody else I mentioned on my channel. So imagine what ESPN has to go through. Imagine wanting to cover the whole WNBA, but people only want to hear about one person. And that's kudos to that one person. Their job now is to further promote the W. And the crazy thing about it is, I think sometimes the fans are making it worse for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark definitely came along and gave them a jump start when the shit was dead, right? She jump started the WNBA battery. At this point, no one is denying that. They're giving her credit for that, but people are so stuck on the fact that it doesn't go 100% to her that they're gonna continue to bash it. Everybody so far who wouldn't give Caitlin Clark her credit first have now given her credit, and people are still mad. What do you want them to change the logo to Caitlin Clark? You want Caitlin Clark to be the commissioner? What do you want from Caitlin Clark? That girl just want to play basketball. Trust me, Caitlin Clark does not care about a lot of the things that her fans care about. Caitlin Clark is not caring about a lot of the things that y'all care about that happened this previous season. season. That girl is on a golf course having the time of her life, stacking checks. Now you have a difference between the average Caitlin Clark fan, and you got some Caitlin Clark fans who are trolls, who come with hateful rhetoric. They do exist, and people keep coming to my comments saying, well, I don't see none of the hateful stuff or the racist stuff that these quote unquote diehard the trolls of the Caitlin Clark fans are saying. It's there. I truly understand where she's coming from when she say it was a challenge trying to find a balance in between talking about other players who did deserve the coverage and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark and them got knocked out of the playoffs. Now you can continue to talk about Caitlin Clark, cool. Don't you think some of those players who continue to go through the playoffs deserve to have their game covered too? To act as if the players who were still in the playoffs shouldn't be covered in the news or be reported about, that's insane to me. And I'm pretty sure while the playoffs are still going on, I'm pretty sure Caitlin Clark was still watching. I'm pretty sure Caitlin Clark would have wanted those girls to get coverage. But it's like certain people online calling themselves Caitlin Clark fans get mad when everyone doesn't cover Caitlin Clark when Caitlin Clark's not playing no more. She's home. It's crazy to me. But when a person like me try to call this out on my channel, I get looked at crazy. I'm glad she said this because now I don't feel like it's just me in my head. Because here recently on my channel, I've been posting certain videos or certain community posts just to see the interaction between that versus a Caitlin Clark video. And don't get me wrong, I understand if you post Caitlin Clark, you're gonna get views. I get that. She should get you a lot of views. She should. That's like if you posting Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift gonna do your numbers. I get that. That's just how that goes, and I respect that. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's decent. If that was a person who was all about numbers, you will only get Caitlin Clark videos. But I'm a person who likes the sport, who would like to cover the W in its entirety, and not just only Caitlin Clark, but Caitlin Clark and others who deserve to be covered. I want to cover things that need to be covered. It was a lot of things that was still going on that should have got the coverage on ESPN or any other sports network. And for people to just only want to hear about Caitlin Clark, that's not fair to other players. And there's nothing wrong with nobody saying that that's not fair. So I get what she's saying. I believe she's right. Like I said, Andraya Carter to me is different from someone like a Malika Andrews or someone like a Monica Manette who tries their best to ignore what Caitlin's done. Andraya Carter has always given Caitlin Clark her credit. Now, as well as me, I've always given Caitlin Clark credit. I've given Angel Reese her credit as well as I gave Angel Reese a hard time. I've given Asia Wilson her credit just as well as me giving Asia Wilson a hard time. But in the same sense, I'm the type of person that's like, yo, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. No matter who the person is. Now, like I say, a lot of people are going hard for certain things for Caitlin Clark. Let her go hard for those things. Y'all can think y'all want something for her, or y'all can think y'all speaking up for her, but the whole time, let's say Caitlin Clark don't even know what y'all even talking about. Let's just say Caitlin Clark don't even have any idea why y'all even doing the things y'all doing. The girl don't talk. The girl has yet to sit on a podcast and tell y'all what she really thinks. But you got people sitting online giving you whole think pieces on the behalf of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark ain't said nothing. Until Caitlin Clark said out her mouth, I don't believe it. I don't believe Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark got a beef. I don't believe Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark got a beef. That's narratives that y'all make up. And I know people gonna hate this video because it sound like I'm talking shit about Caitlin Clark fans, but I'm not. The real Caitlin Clark fans know. If you feel offended by this, I don't know what to tell you. But we gotta start being honest about what's really going on with this Caitlin Clark situation. Y'all get mad when Caitlin Clark's not number one in every category. Asia Wilson just had a historic year, as well as Caitlin Clark. But Asia Wilson, MVP. Yes, she didn't win a championship. She scored 1,000 points in the season. Now, I seen an ESPN power ranking list. Top 75 players in WNBA. Asia Wilson, number 1. Caitlin Clark, number 2. Nafesia Colley, number 3. Why is Nafesia Colley number 3 when she went to the finals? I can see Asia Wilson being 1 because she MVP. Nafesia Colley should have been number 2. Caitlin Clark, number 3. Now, if they'd have made Caitlin Clark number 3, y'all probably would have had a whole meltdown for her being 3 out of 75. A conversation I had a little while ago with somebody about that. If she was 3rd out of 75, which is still great, social media would have been crazy. Now, I'm pretty sure when some people saw the list, they even argued the fact that why Caitlin Clark wasn't number 1. Because she wasn't number 1. I believe Caitlin Clark would tell you she wasn't number 1. And people want to ride this whole privilege narrative that Asia Wilson said. That was wrong for her to say. Someone saying that someone else's privilege does not make them racist. It might be a touch of bigotry in there. Doesn't sound hateful. It sounds misinformed for the most part, but because Asia Wilson said Paige Beckers and people like Kelsey Plum are privileged, Yes, that sounds misinformed to me. That doesn't sound like someone being racist to me. It's a difference. People need to start learning the difference between racist, bigotry, prejudice, all that kind of stuff. There's different meanings to stuff. I've been called racist so much because I've gave critique on Caitlin Clark. I just recently had people start saying crazy stuff to me online because I'm kind of warming up to A'ja Wilson. I'm warming up to Angel Reese a little bit. I'm doing my research on them. I'm seeing them, I'm watching them. And they're not all as bad as we think they are. Y'all want to keep running with that narrative that they hate this girl when they don't hate that girl. Now, yes, Angel Reese should try going a little while without mentioning Caitlin Clark's name, because it seems like every time she does a podcast, Caitlin Clark's name is being brought up. But I have not seen A'ja Wilson say anything about Caitlin Clark. Now, some may say, oh, well, she doesn't mention her. She's ignoring her. She's not trying to acknowledge her. Okay. Caitlin Clark don't say nothing about A'ja Wilson neither. Now, one of these YouTube channels, I recently said in the comments, some of these Caitlin Clark fans would shit in their pants if they ever seen a picture or a video of A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark chilling, hanging out, working out, whatever the case may be. What would be the narrative then? Like, a lot of this stuff is just made up narrative that people just run with. And until it's said or until it's obviously put out there that they don't like each other, I'm never gonna run with that narrative. I believe more of a narrative that Dejanay Carrington does not like Caitlin Clark, or Nalissa Smith don't really care for Caitlin Clark, then I would believe A'ja Wilson doesn't like Caitlin Clark. But that's besides the point. The point of the matter is, I actually agree with what she's saying. You gotta understand, everybody ain't built for the internet. It's probably why you don't even see Caitlin Clark post on the internet like that. Even Aaliyah Boston said she had to get off the internet for a while because y'all was going at her, and that's her teammate. Y'all was going at Kelsey Mitchell, that's her teammate. So I believe her when they say that it's a lot of trolls out there in disguise as Caitlin Clark fans. Yes, they are fans of her, but they're trolls too. The two can exist in the same time. And then you have the actual Caitlin Clark fans who understand that, hey, she ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? She's a hell of a ball player, but they don't feed into the narrative that everyone else makes of her and other players in the league. There's two types of Caitlin Clark fans out here. And most people I see in the comments keep saying, well, hey, if that's the case, then show me in the comments. I don't have to show nobody nothing. It's there. You go look it up, it's there. If you don't feel it or you can't tell the tone of some of these comments, you might be part of the problem. But I've seen a lot of comments on Twitter, on Instagram, where if you say anything wrong about Caitlin Clark, they going at you. That's just like the Beehive, that's just like the Swifties, that's just like the Barbs. It's certain fan bases out here, you can't say nothing about their people because they coming at you. Caitlin Clark has that, and people gotta start understanding and realizing that she has that whether she wants it or not. But I wonder how y'all would feel if she was to start to speak out against a lot of the things y'all be talking about in the comments. A lot of y'all come in the comments with your own agendas, your own personal feelings against another group of people, and you want to use Caitlin Clark to get your shit off. I seen it. I deleted a lot of those comments. A lot of the comments, it don't make it on my page no more than 5 minutes, because I don't want that on my page. And it is what it is. Like I said, Caitlin Clark is not beyond criticism. Angel Reese is not beyond criticism. A'ja Wilson is not beyond criticism. And Caitlin Clark fans are not beyond criticism. Y'all can feel how you feel about it. It is what it is.